JD here, and today we're looking at this. This is the Ryze Tello. So let's open this up and have a little look inside. So there are two little bits to this box. There is the top part, which consists of the quadcopter, and then underneath this little flap at the bottom here you get a little accessory pack as well as a little manual. Well, it's not exactly a little manual, a little in size but quite thick there. Multiple languages should you want to give that a little read before you take it out and fly. So inside this little accessory pack we get a battery, and we also get 4 spare propellers as well. So let's put that to one side for the minute. Let's focus on this guy. This is the quadcopter that we are all been after and that we all want to see. So let me just tidy things up a little bit, and this is what she looks like. Look at this. This looks an awful lot like the DJI Spark. Now this has been built in conjunction with DJI and Ryze Robotics. So essentially what you've got is you've got DJI powering the quadcopter and Ryze actually manufactured it. If you do need any assistance with this particular quadcopter, you have to go through Ryze in order to get any assistance out of them. You can buy them from Ryze and from DJI as well. Now, let's focus on the front of it. We'll look at the design quickly, then we'll go through the functions, features, and then go through the app towards the end. So right to begin with, right at the very beginning of the quadcopter here, right at the very end, we have a 720p fixed lens camera. Now this camera can record at 720p at 30 frames a second. It can also take 5 megapixel photos as well. Next to the camera we have a little status LED. This lets you know exactly what status the quadcopter's in, if the battery's running low, if the battery's fully charged, etc. Now to the right of the camera we have the on and on button. It's to click and hold once to turn on and then double tap to turn off. To the left we have a little micro USB port. This is for charging the battery. And then if we spin the quadcopter around, so this is now the rear of the quadcopter, this is where the battery fits in. Now this battery is a... oh, let me just get out the package here. There we go. This battery is a 3.8 volt, 1100 milliamp hour battery. So it's more than capable of giving us 13 minutes of flight time, and it does take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to fully charge. Now, once this is in, you do just click once to turn on the quadcopter. There we go, it's come on, and then you click it and hold twice there just to turn off the quadcopter again. Now on these, on the 4 propeller arms, we have 4 brushed motors here. These motors are pretty powerful. They have got 2 settings. You can set them as low speed when you first take off. You can also change it in the app to high mode, and that does give you a little more speed there. Now, I really like this. I really do. It seems like a very shrunk down version of the Spark. If we look at the underside, this is Intel's brand new vision system. So this is something like we saw on the Spark to begin with. Now this vision system is powered by a 14-core Intel processor, and this just allows you to have precision hold. So a lot of the time we see barometer hold, and that moves quite a bit and wiggles about, and the wind will move that back and forth. This is should actually hold the quadcopter still. Okay, now when it says still, it doesn't mean in a high wind, but it does mean that it is able to focus and it is able to hold the quadcopter quite steady, a lot like this. Now we'll see if that is the case when we do take it out and when we do fly her outside. If you are going to fly her inside, I very much would think that this would be held without any issue at all. But once again, we'll have a little look at that when we go to fly her outside as well. These little fins here, this is just for to let the motors to let all the electronics inside here breathe a little bit. Now, if you are a budding programmer, or if you are a programmer anyway, then you may be excited to know that you can program this little Tello. You have two ways of doing so. Now you can use Scratch, which is a sort of drag and drop, very basic MIT created piece of software. I've used that many times. It's extremely simple. If you're a little bit more advanced, then you can use Tello's own SDK and actually program this Tello using that particular software kit as well. So both of those are available from the website, or just have a look in the manual. I'm sure it'll tell you in there exactly where to get that from. So there we are. That is a very brief overview of this particular quadcopter. Now, how much does it weigh? With the battery, what exactly is your flying weight? So let me grab my scales. Now there's a load of different places which are stopping people flying quadcopters without a license up to 250 grams. This comes under that massively. 88 grams is what this particular quadcopter with a battery weighs. Now that is a fantastically light quadcopter, but obviously just be aware that if there is any wind, then this is going to fly off. It is extremely light. Best off giving it a try around the house first. It is regulated for indoor and outdoor use. Give it a try indoors, see how you fare, see how you get on. It is controlled at this particular stage with a smartphone and the smartphone Tello app. Now I have sent communication off to Ryze to try and get some information back on their controller. I think it's coming out. I don't think it's out at the minute, but if it is, then hit me up below with a link to it just so I can have a little look at that as well, because I'd be very interested in getting that when it comes out. So that is the quadcopter. Now, along with this quadcopter, as I said, you do have to control it via a smartphone. And the smartphone app that you are going to use is called Tello. So let's have a little look at that. So there we go. So right when you start off and you open up the app, this is what you're going to see, how to connect your aircraft to the app. So if you want to, you can click and connect your quadcopter. This is, I think, exactly what I'm going to do now. Let's see if I've got any battery in here. There we go. Quadcopter is on. No, I think quadcopter is now on. There we go. So let's have a little look and see if I can get this. There we go. So this is what we have. This is what the app looks like when you've connected your little quadcopter to the app. This is exactly what you're going to see. So you're looking through the eye of the quadcopter. Now when you do open up the app, be warned that if this quadcopter doesn't have enough ambient light underneath by the vision sensors, it's not going to take off. So you may get a little warning sign if it's quite dark that says not enough ambient light, to just make sure where you do take off there's enough light. It is quite open and it is quite light, otherwise this thing is going to struggle. Now let's start off at the top and let's work our way across. So we have automatic takeoff. We have drone features for the second one. Now, there's so many in here, and I'm sure people who have flown DJI quadcopters in the past are going to recognise a few. Up and away, essentially, is palm launch. It's where you can throw the quadcopter and it's meant to fly. You have bounce mode, circle, 8D flips, throw and go, and 360 as well. So there's quite a few different options there for you. The next one across is your settings. So this is where you can change flight speed from low into high. You've also got VR capabilities. If you come down to the bottom, you can click more and you can get access to your beginner guide where it takes you through step by step just exactly what every part of this app does. Very, very helpful. As well as you've got a measurement system, so you can choose imperial or metric. You've got manual. For photo only mode, normal or high, so you can increase that quality of your photo up to the maximum 5 megapixels. You have low battery warning, so when this little red LED at the front is going to flash for you. This currently is at 20%. Stick mode 1 or 2. Now I fly stick mode 2, which is left stick as the throttle, so I'm going to be leaving that exactly as it is. And then if you come down to the other calibration modes, now as standard this is calibrated, but if you did want to calibrate it, you can click calibrate for the IMU status. Now in order to do that, you are going to have to take off the propellers, and it is going to take you through 5 or 6 different steps. So you're best off doing that, I think, indoors if you want to calibrate it and set it up again. Centre of gravity calibration, this is not something that I can calibrate. It doesn't let me. It's not exactly enabled there either. So I think it's calibrated once, and I think that's it. And then also you have your firmware there, which you can update. But obviously if you're going to do that, ensure that your quadcopter is full, not like mine. Then you have different status bar at the top. You have battery, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. You have speed and height next to it as well. Very important and very, very nice to have. This has got a maximum 100-meter transmission range, but obviously you are going to be connected to Wi-Fi, so I would more than likely think that you would be able to do about 10 or 15 foot, and that's it at maximum. If you are going to use a repeater, make sure you try it and make sure that you are connected properly, and always keep an eye on your signal here. These signal bars do move, so you are going to see exactly when you do get high signal and when you do get low. It also tells you like a little warning down here, and it says warning, low signal. You also have play media, so if you click the play button, you can go back to photos and videos that you've recorded using this particular quadcopter. You've then got photo mode, Click it again, then you've got video mode, and then this big red button here is to click for video, and then likewise if you're in photo mode, that big red button is just a normal white button. That is to operate the shutter. Now, I think the best feature of this quadcopter is just what I'm about to show you, and that is this. Look at this. I don't know about you, but I can't remember the last time I saw a analog stick that did that. Now, I think there are some apps out there which I have come into contact with that try and do this snap back, so wherever you put your finger, then you will have access to the analog sticks. Some have done it. A few that I have tried in the past, I've tried to do it and have failed because these little circles have got stuck and they haven't snapped back. But I think that is a fantastic feature. So wherever your finger goes, because it's very, I don't know about you guys, but I find it very difficult sometimes to fly by a smartphone because there's no tactile feedback. So this is quite nice. Wherever you put your finger, you can control your quadcopter, and you can get good control from it from the left and from the right as well. I like that a lot. I think that is very, very good. So that is just a little overview of your Tello app as well. So there we have it. So there we have it, folks. This is what you get in the package. You get your Tello, you get your battery, and you also get your spare propellers there as well. Thank you ever so much for watching and listening, folks. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.